Welcome to Doxon Photography and to a photographer's diary. We are now in May, and so let's take a look back to the month that passed, April 2018. What happened, what did we shoot, and what went on in my mind. So I've written down some things so I don't forget anything. So let's start off with the month. Now, the month started with somebody asking me for an interview. So somebody wanted to interview me, and that was very interesting. Now, it was in German, so it's not so interesting for you who are not German. So I'm not going to talk much about it. It's an interview with another female photographer, and I thought, okay, let's do it. She came to our house and asked me everything she wanted to know. So that was one thing in April. Now, I shot some dancing events. Anna loves to dance, and so there are some men with who she really likes to dance, and sometimes we just make a video. So we say, it's nice weather, so let's go out with the jukebox, a box to play music, and you dance and I photograph and film how you dance. And I do it to create memories for once for our son. So when our son is grown up, he can see how his mother dances or danced, depending on if she then still dances. And it's just a memory. It's no job, it's just some private stuff, free time, but sometimes something comes out of it as well. I also photographed some other dancing events, and on one of these events, a friend of ours asked me for a photo shoot. And I thought, I made a video course in Spain in February, and I was still missing some videos, some content. So I said to that girl, you don't have to pay anything for the photo shoot, let me just film it, let me talk a little bit about it while photographing you. You get all images for free, you don't pay anything. I even pay you, and you help me with the video course, and you get nice images. So then we went out on the streets, just anywhere, with the 85mm 1.2 lens, 24mm lens, and we got some really nice images. I will show you these images in the video so you see how it looks like. And just out of fun, I made an album for her and a big print as a gift. Now, sometimes photography can be a business and it's about money. That's for me wedding photography. A wedding is a business and I make money with it. Street photography as well when I don't film it. YouTube is not about money, it's about giving back. It's about creating something publicly. It's about a diary. YouTube is a kind of diary where I, in 10 years, can see what did I actually do 10 years ago. And then I have all these videos where it's not just a picture, it's a real video with sound and movement, and I can really clearly see who I was 10 years ago now. And so, what else? Let me just take a look. I met with many wedding couples who are going to get married in this month, in the next month, in the coming month. And whenever I do it, whenever I meet people, I meet them at their home, I meet them near where I live, depending on where we are. Sometimes when they live very far away, we Skype. And whenever I meet with couples for a wedding, to go through the day, to meet each other, often I've met them before, but you know, I think it's very important when I meet somebody in 2017 and they get married in June 2018, then I think we have to meet so you can actually remember who I am. You probably don't remember how I look like. And I don't remember how you look like unless I have some images of you. Often I just have some names, and even when I saw them once before, sometimes I forget how they look like. So I like to meet them before, or at least Skype, or at least have a phone call a month earlier so they know everything is up to date. And when I meet these couples, often I have a camera with me. Now, I don't say I have a camera with me. I don't say I'll take pictures of you. I just have it with me, and when the moment is right, when I see they have a nice feeling, you know, when I see they're happy, then I just get out the camera, and after the talk, after we go through the day, I say, if you like, I can take some pictures of you just right here, outside of the restaurant, outside of your house, outside of where we are. It doesn't matter where. You know, with the blurry background, it doesn't matter where I photograph. It can be done anywhere. And it's always nice. So they can actually have an experience how the photo shoot will be like, and they have a positive emotion. It's very important on a wedding day, or with wedding couples, to always give a positive emotion. When a couple writes me and they ask, hello, we are getting married then and here, and what do you charge? I always reply positively, super positively. Hello, Jana and Timo, thank you very much for your email. Congratulations, you're getting married. That's wonderful news. I always write positively. There are no negative words in the email that I write or PDF that I send. It's all a positive. I want the couple to have a great emotion every time they have contact with me, whether it's email, whether it's a phone call, whether they meet me. I want them to have a great feeling after we have contact, so they are all relaxed about their wedding photography. That's very important. If they have a bad feeling about it, maybe because I don't answer emails, or I don't go to the phone, or I don't do what I said I'll do, they have they might have a mixed feeling about it, and that's not what I want them to have for their wedding. I want to add value, I want to add joy. I want to give joy. I don't want to be a stress factor. They don't have to care about me. Sometimes they ask, do you want some food? Do you want to drink something? It's all fine. I don't want them to do anything for me. I don't need anything. Okay, what else? Now I have the Canon 6D here with the flip out screen. So here's the 50mm 1.2. Let's go to f1.2. That's f1.2. And the flip out screen here, so I can see me. And I took some images in this way of me, here actually in the park, with the remote control. Remote control on the camera, one in my hand, make click and got the image. And I can show you these images. They turned out really nice. I thought, man, this is such a great series that I got of me. I never ever, in the last 1 million something images, I never ever got a series of me, photographs of me this beautiful as I could do it with this camera all alone with a tripod and a remote control. And you'll see the images. Very easily the camera focuses on my face. You see it, I'm now at f1.2. I can move around, I can get closer, and you see I am in focus at f1.2. Maybe let me just get a little bit further away. And that's a very incredible skill that this camera has. So you can take self-portraits wherever you are. So I took some of me, and then we went to another place where we went as a family. So it was Anna, me and our child, to do the same, to take pictures of us as a family. And I also put the camera on a tripod, remote control, and also got some really beautiful images, which is really nice because I love spending time with my girlfriend, and I always have a camera with me, and often I only take pictures of her. Now I can take pictures of us all. Okay, so I met with many wedding couples. I shot some weddings, and the last wedding, today is Wednesday, the last wedding was on Friday. And I took 8,300 images. I had them edited on Sunday night, 1,997 images. And it's very rarely that I have the whole wedding finished after 2 days. I got the album finished on Monday. I got the online gallery, download link, and everything I do, I have it all finished on Monday. And because when you have very much to do, when you have not many free days or free time, you have to be very quick so you don't add up all the work. Sometimes I have a wedding on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and sometimes it's not always where I live. So I have 700 gigabytes of SD cards. So sometimes I'm on a wedding on a Thursday, it might be in Hamburg, on a Saturday in Cologne, Thursday in Hamburg, Friday in Cologne, Saturday where I live. And then I come home on Sunday with over 20,000 images, and I know the next week there are also shootings and the next wedding is also coming. So time is crucial. The difference between a great photographer, a professional photographer and an amateur, the difference is not the camera or the gear or the lens, not even how the images look, but the speed. The speed is relevant. How fast do you answer emails? How fast do you call somebody back? How fast do you deliver the images? How fast are you in what you offer? The difference between a successful photographer and an unsuccessful photographer is the successful photographer knows all processes that are in his business, and he has them all laid out perfectly structured, which means that when somebody writes me an email, says, hello, my name is this, I'm getting married in 8 months, how much do you charge? And we live here, do you shoot here? That is, a process begins. The process is, okay, somebody writes me, I have to write back. I have to give them the answers to their question. A professional photographer has all this laid out already. He has pre-written emails for all situations. Somebody wants a wedding, I use this email. I only change the names. Somebody wants a half-day wedding, this email only changed the name. Somebody wants a portrait shoot, this email only changed the name. Somebody wants a maternity shoot, this email only changed the name. And then they send the mail very quickly, very often within 1 day or even within 12 hours. And an unsuccessful photographer will take days because he doesn't know what to charge, he doesn't really know what to write. He takes a lot of time sometimes to write it because he does it all over again and again. He does not have the process laid out. And the more work you do, the faster you have to be in your processes. And this can kill you if you don't know the process. So when I come home after a wedding, I copy all images to different hard drives, and I never have the images in the same flat or house or room until the couple got the images. So I might copy all images to 2 hard drives, but when these hard drives are in my home, I have the SD cards with me all the time. So when, just for the case, maybe the house burns down or somebody breaks in, I always have the images until I give them to the couple. I always have them in 2 different places that are not connected to each other. And copy the images to the computer, load them into Lightroom, select the ones I like. From 8,000 images, I come about 3,500. Then I go through 3,500 images, select those that I don't like. So sometimes they are very similar, so I select those that are very similar and I end up with 2,000. Then I edit every single image very quickly. 2,000 images will take 4 to 5 hours. And then the editing is done. Then I export the images in a really low resolution for the online gallery, in a medium resolution for the download link for all the guests. Everybody can download images for free of themselves of the wedding day. I don't want the couple so now there's a wedding with 100 people, and after the wedding the people see the gallery and they write the couple, hello, can you send me the images of me? And they can do that, but if 100 people write this and there are 2,000 images and the couple has to go through all the group shots and the couple shots of all the guests, all couples of the wedding I photographed, and I say, you know what, you don't have to send images to everybody separately. I will provide you a solution where they can download the images for free. So you don't have to send them to everybody who will ask. And they get to see my website, they get to see my other work. And I export the images in high resolution. And then I do all the same stuff again for the black and white images. And then I make an album and I still make a DVD and I print the DVD with images of the couple on the DVD. One DVD in color, one in black and white. And I print images. I always print, they get an album. Sometimes I do an extra album as a gift in black and white with different images than from the color album. And I always print images in a frame as a gift, not to sell, but to say, I've had a great day, I've had a great time with you. I loved being at your wedding, it was a fantastic day. I really love the images that I took at I have a really great experience. And this is a gift from me as a friend to you, the printed images in the frame. And what happens is when the images are great quality, when the frame is nice, they hang up the image. And it's not a small image, it looks like this. So when they hang it up, everybody who enters the room will see this image. And when it's a great image, everybody will say, who took that image? Our wedding photographer, this or that. And you know what? It was a gift. We didn't even pay for it. It was a gift. He brought it without us knowing it. So that's just about wedding photography, just a little look into it, because that's what I do now all the weekends and during the week the editing. It's now from March to October wedding time. Let me give you one last thing as inspiration. Now when you start something, when you start an own idea, often it will not grow as fast or as big as you think. So an idea can be like a tree. You plant a seed in the ground and you think after 3 months you see a flower or a tree. And after 3 months you might not even see anything, but you still have to water it, so one day it can come out. And that's like with an idea. And there are people in the world that are very, very successful. They have created a very big tree. But sometimes it took a lot of time, energy and effort. And when we see these big stars that we admire, we often don't see the time they've invested to actually water their seed, their talent, what they enjoy to do, what they love to do, what they get paid for very well. So let me give you a story. There's a boy. The boy is 7 years old and he wants to be an actor. And he starts acting. Now that's a great thing. He not only knows what he wants, but he actually does it. And then he continues acting with 7, with 8, with 9, with 10, with 11, with 12, with 13, with 14 years old. And one time he says, well, if I'm not known by the age of 18, I'm going to quit. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to get a normal job. And then he gets 18 and it still doesn't work. And he says, I give myself 3 more years until I'm 21. And then he turns 21 and he still doesn't even make any money from it. After 14, 15 years in acting, he doesn't make any money. And then he gets 25 and then he gets 30. Now when you start an idea with 7 and you only do it and nothing else, and you do it until you're 30 and you still haven't made any money with it, that's very hard. Now with 30 he made his first money. He got a small role in a film, and here's how he got it. In his mid-20s, end of 20s, he took all his money that he got, all his money, which were $3,000. He didn't have more, and made his own movie. He wrote the movie and he made everything in the movie. He also played in the movie the character. And he filmed it in 1 weekend. Why did he do everything on his own? Because he couldn't pay anybody for anything. And why did they shoot it in 1 weekend? Because after 1 weekend the money was spent. So in 1 weekend he made a movie and he made everything himself. That movie makes it to Cannes, the film festival. In Cannes there is Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg sees the movie and says, I like the movie, I like this character, I will give him a role in one of my next movies. And this 7-year-old boy gets a role in the movie Saving Private Ryan. The main character is Tom Hanks. That's the main character. But the 7-year-old boy gets a small role in it. That's about in the year 1999. That is the year where he first gets paid. Now, last year, 2017, 17 years later, he was the 3rd best paid actor in Hollywood with about $800,000 a week, every week, 40 million a year. And now that is very interesting, because when you see this actor, you see him as somebody who has everything, with all his millions in his bank account and all his great movies and all his fame and all this attraction, but you don't know that this is just a 7-year-old boy watering an idea for over 40 years. And that is crazy. It's, you know, let me give you the name of the kid. It's a 7-year-old kid, I tell you. That is who made it. It's not the grown-up who made it, it's the 7-year-old kid. Because if the 7-year-old kid would not have acted upon his dreams, he now would be not there where he is. The name of this boy is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel got his first big role as a small side act in the movie Saving Private Ryan, and then Pitch Black, and then Triple X, and then Fast and Furious. And when you look at the last year, 2017, there was the new Star Wars movie. The new Star Wars movie made $1.2 billion. Star Wars is one of the biggest names in film history. So it's obvious it made probably the most money any film can make in the year. 1.2 million, a billion. But guess what? Fast and Furious 8 with Vin Diesel made more than Star Wars. And you might say, well, Vin Diesel is on the peak of his career. When you take a look at what he is working on now, in this moment, what he is working on now, there are 3 movies that he works on right now. That is Triple X 4, that is Fast and the Furious for 2020, and Fast and the Furious for 2021. These 3 movies he works on right now, in 2018. And when Triple X 4 and Fast and Furious come out in the same year, he will make much more than 800,000 a week, and he will be much higher than the 3rd best paid actor in Hollywood. So maybe this inspires you. This inspires me. Sometimes when I think about where am I, we now have made over 1,000 videos on YouTube, which feels like nobody ever watches because we only have 6,000 subscribers. It feels like it doesn't make sense to continue these videos. But then I have all these stories in my head about people who continue what they're doing, and because they continue, one day they become what they have in their mind. And it might happen, I thought after 50 videos some opportunities will show up. After 100 videos, opportunities will show up. And now after 1,150 videos here on this channel, you know, I just continue and I don't expect anything. I just do what I love and only say yes to things that I would do for free. So I know I have a great life, a great everyday life, not a great weekend life. I don't care about weekends. Weekends is actually the time where I work most because it's wedding season. And so I think what's also interesting is the journey. You know, when Vin Diesel needs over 20 years to first get paid, and then 17 years later he has 800,000 a week the whole year long. $800,000 this week, $800,000 the next week, $800,000 the next week. I think you can reach everything you want, but you have to pay a price. And the price to get something is not money, it's sacrifice. You have to, if you want to have a six-pack, you have to sacrifice some Coca-Cola, some pizza. You have to sacrifice some food. You have to sacrifice some comfort. You have to go out and go jogging. You have to go to the gym. You have to do something actually to train your muscles to get a six-pack. And the sacrifice, the higher the sacrifice, the greater the excitement will be when you realize this. And so when we think about, you know, it's so hard to realize a dream, actually the harder it is, the more enjoyment you feel afterwards. If the dream is easy to get, it's easy to lose. If it's hard to get, it's hard to lose. So I really like that even after 1,000 videos, I am still at the beginning because I want it to be hard. I don't want it to be easy. Because one day, like Vin Diesel, maybe in 20 years, when you start in photography, you might know my name. And with these videos, I'm building up to that moment. Maybe in 20 years, maybe in 15, in 10, in 5, in 2, or maybe in 25 years. I don't care how long it takes, because I enjoy the journey and the moment, and I know that the harder it is to surrender. That's it.